Good morning, everybody. We are just about to go live in a minute or so. Just want to get this pulled up, and then Maxine is going to be joining us today for my little Instagram business freestyle. So let's get her added on. There you go. Okay. We'll add Maxine here.
It let me do my realtor one, so
Okay,
that's where it popped up.
You have good audio?
I can
Because
hear
I know
you.
yesterday Cassie was telling me like it kind of gets wonky at first. So, all right, so we got your Instagram live
Okay,
going,
I'm doing the Facebook.
and then you're gonna do the Facebook live.
Yeah, I'm like,
oh my
doing
God, we're
freestyle
so
right now.
dude.
Bear with us,
This is
people.
this is what it's about, right?
All right. So how do you know how to add? No, Meo. Okay, I think I already tagged you. Go live. I'm going live on 2 things. It's counting down.
Oh God, it counts down.
It does. The other one counts down. Okay. So does it say? Can you see on Facebook? Hi,
Hold on.
everybody.
Let me refresh it. Oh, here we go.
Okay. I wonder how we can do split screens on this one too.
Oh, I wonder if it's gonna be weird audio though.
Oh, the echoing. Let's see. Invite friends.
Oh, maybe I have to like approve it here.
Good morning, everybody. Waiting for me.
We're figuring out our
watching.
There we go. Okay, add to timeline. Can you see me?
Can you see me? I can see you. Are you on the bottom or top on the Instagram? You're the top.
Oh, I'm on the bottom.
Oh, I'm on the bottom in mine. See, it's reversed. Trying to get our Instagram. Hold on, I'm typing on Facebook.
Okay, so I don't see on Facebook where I can. It just tagged me on Facebook. It didn't add me to the conversation. Okay, so I give up on that. I'll let.
Okay, sorry. We're signing off of Facebook for right now, guys. We're going to try to post our Instagram. I don't know. Why should you go like this? Meo. We're learning as we go. So we're going to do our Instagram live and then we'll post this later. Sorry.
All good. Because you know what? We got our day to move on with. But thank you so much.
I ended Facebook. Now we can focus on one thing. We tried.
Okay. All good. We'll figure out our lives. Thank you, Maxine, so much for joining me today. For anybody that's about to pop on or pop through, thank you so much as well for joining us. My name's Meo Baaklini. This is Maxine, and you have to say your last name for me.
I don't even know how to say it. No, Agombar.
I feel you. I married into Baaklini, so that's me.
So I married into Agombar.
Exactly. So my name is Meo Baaklini. I am a photographer and an insurance broker in California and Nevada. Not an insurance broker for Nevada, and I photograph everywhere. I met Maxine through our mutual friend Deepa. Her and I were both doing some stuff for Film Twist and Fusion Moments. I think right after I had Ezra. So it's been a few years now, and we've briefly chatted or we've emailed back and forth, just yelling tasks at each other, and so it's nice to finally get to know her a little bit better over the last couple years and see who Maxine is, what she's about. She's not just a realtor. She's also got a really awesome passion for plant-based, healthy cooking, and she creates some really cool stuff. And she even just posted her first IGTV with, what recipe did you make?
Inspired by you, black bean brownie bites. And they were gone in a day.
Oh yeah, totally. I get that. So I know that you do have to jet out after we're done and go probably go show some houses and stuff. So all that kind of fun, regular day-to-day. I don't know. I like looking at houses, but yeah, real quick, Maxine, just tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got started into real estate. Like how did you get there?
Hi everybody. Again, I'm Maxine Agombar. So I got my real estate license in 2007. Actually, I was in college. I think I was 20 or something like that, in my early 20s. And I just was really interested, like you said, in houses. I loved houses. When I was really little, my dad did real estate too. So that is something I don't mention very much because he did it for like a couple years because then he had 2 kids and it was hard to just survive on commission. So that's real. But I did have a little bit of taste of real estate as a little kid, and it was always in the back of my mind as something I love. And so I got my license 07. As everybody knows, the crash happened in 08. I was still in college. So I kind of left and just focused on school. And from there, I did a whole bunch of different jobs. I did corporate jobs, retail jobs, education, pharmaceutical, you name it, and just kind of worked my way up the corporate ladder in different companies. Mm-hmm. And I guess it was 2015 kind of when we met. Yeah. I was in a car accident. I had to kind of just recalibrate my life. I couldn't sit at a desk for 8 hours and type anymore. I was in a lot of pain. And I knew deep down inside there was like something else I was supposed to be doing. As cliche as it sounds, I had that moment. I was 30 and going through my like, what am I supposed to be doing? So we did the really hard thing. We left LA. We lived on the beach. We had good jobs that we liked. And we moved back to Vallejo and hit a hard reset. And so in that time of meeting you, I started freelancing for Deepa and Film Twist and Fusion to just make a couple $100 a month while I was figuring out what I could do. And in that time, that's when I completed my vegan chef certification. And I was like, okay, I really care about food, but is this going to be able to pay the bills right away? And, you know, I'm kind of in my family like Maxine, the meanderer. So it's like, what is she doing now? So if that's one tip, it's like keep chasing your like passion. So long story short, I got back into real estate. So I decided in 2016, I was going to renew my license. I had let it lapse over 10 years. So I had to study all over again. I had to take the test all over again. So don't do that.
My insurance stuff. I let it lapse. I had to go through the whole insurance process all over again.
Just keep it.
Yeah.
Hi, Eric. Thank you for saying that. So just keep it active. Don't do what I did, said restudy. And I passed in June.
It's a lot harder. How old are you now? You're
33.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a lot harder in your 30s to study for a licensing exam than it is when you're 22 trying to study and you have like the brain capacity to actually remember everything. But
shout out to my girl Anna, because we purposely studied twice a week. We were study buddies, and I don't think if I had her to like sit down and watch Boring Bob on the DVD and take all the practice tests.
Oh my God, yes.
Like we had like accountability partners. Like, we have to study, girl. Like, we have the test next week. So we both
have Boring Bob. That's hilarious. We have Boring Betty. She's like this lady who speaks monotone, and she teaches her insurance stuff. And she's like, and then your coverage A, and I pass out every time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was super boring, but we both passed our first time taking the test. I had to take her to the emergency room that day because she got so excited when she saw me, because I came out of the elevator and she was waiting for me, and we both didn't know, and we looked at each other. She's like, did you pass? I'm like, yeah, did you? And she jumped up and like snapped her ankle. So
oh my God.
We drove straight from passing our test to the emergency room. So
like,
sorry, I'm going to tell you that story. It's just, that's awesome. So yeah, that was June 2016. So that's when I got relicensed, and we're in August? Oh, it's August 1st.
Yeah. And
so a little over 2 years.
And then who did you sign on with? Who do you work for?
So right now I'm with Remax Gold in Vallejo. So they are all throughout Northern California. I think they just opened some Southern California branches. I love Remax. I love saying Maxine with Remax.
Yeah, it's cute.
I'm happy. I love my manager. The office is great. My office is great. So, and obviously I'm from Vallejo. I live in Vallejo. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
I did try to start in Napa. That was a little bit harder.
You know what? Like, you kind of have to do what you know and go from there. But Vallejo is such like a small town feel, and then everybody kind of knows everybody over there. We lived over in Mare Island for a couple years. I'm really sad that I didn't get to hang out with you while we lived so close together.
We're literally hanging out different states for the first time.
I know. The first time we're actually like hanging out, we're state to state. But that's technology. That's really awesome. With Remax though, how did you get in? So from a realtor perspective, do you apply like as an employee? Are you 1099? How does
So,
that
so
work?
that actually, this is one of my questions is like, how do you get started in real estate? So somebody,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you like maybe a dozen people have written me over 2 years, like Maxine, you look like you're doing so good. P.S. Instagram and Facebook's the highlight reel, as we all know.
Yeah.
So it is fun and I am doing well, but it is hard. And
Mm-hmm.
what I did in the beginning is I joined a team.
Mm-hmm.
So they were with Remax, the team I joined. And I think that was crucial to setting me up to know what a top producing agent does,
Uh-huh.
what their days look like. It's not just showing houses and sold signs, guys. It's prospecting. It's
Yeah.
following up constantly with clients. And so my first tip would be get a mentor, join a team, have somebody help you navigate, because it is a whole bunch of legal jargon and contracts and law. And what we're doing is not, as you know, with insurance, right?
Yeah.
It's not a small thing to protect somebody's biggest asset and
Yeah.
help them purchase it. So
Exactly.
I think joining a team was the best thing I did in the beginning. And I would think that's it.
I think that's huge. And I was just talking about that yesterday when I was on with another photographer friend. Like when you start something and you're self-employed, sometimes there's not the standard operating procedures book that somebody hands to you and says, this is how you do your career. You're literally just emulating other people. You're doing your research, you're Googling, you're watching YouTube videos, you're watching videos like this. And I don't think there's any like right or wrong way. I think there's what's going to work for some people and then what's going to work based off your personality. Because I also think that you can see somebody who's like got all the talent and all the product knowledge in the world, but their personality sucks. And you're just like, I don't want to do business with them because they know a lot, but I don't like them or I don't mesh with them or whatever.
Yep.
So that's
important. Everybody's
good
personality is different. Yeah. And that's the one thing I can tell you. It's not learned. It's a hard thing to like learn how to get people to trust you and be authentic. And I have to say that's my one golden nugget I feel has carried me this far. Is people instantly have this like camaraderie with me, or they can trust me, or I keep it real. Like they know I'm not just trying to sell them something, and I didn't learn that. That's something I've always had no matter what I've done. Mm-hmm. And so everybody's different. You're right. Maybe a team's not for you, but regardless, I read your letter the other day about notes to your younger self. You just get a mentor, somebody to talk to, and freestyle it out of what works for you, what your plan is. Bottom line, get a plan, because it's a business.
Yeah, that has been a huge struggle for me and also a lot of my friends, just as being artists, first and foremost, because as an artist, we kind of we live up here in the sky and in the clouds, and then you're like, oh, now I gotta run this passion and run this hobby and turn it into a business and treat it like a business. And you're learning along the way, and you're stumbling and you're falling more than you're succeeding, honestly.
You know how many no's I get? I get no's every day, 10 billion times a day.
Oh yeah.
So if any business you're gonna run, if you can't take rejection and no's in the beginning, it's part of it. It's part of it.
Do you ever ask for feedback about why somebody didn't choose to go with you, or do you just kind of let it go?
That never happens. No, I'm just kidding. Of course. That hasn't really happened too much, but the first thing I do when I sit down with my clients is I stress, I was a communications major, that communication is huge for me. If I'm not responding in time, if you have expectations to me, I'm not meeting, just tell me, because I'll fix it, or we'll figure it out. So because I do that, I think I have less
That's good.
clients that fall through or go away.
Or it's good, like, because they can drop you and go pick they can fire you as
an agent,
and
it's super competitive. There's thousands of agents out there,
and everybody has a cousin, everybody's got a family member, and honestly, just you're like, all right, if you don't want to work with me, that's okay. That's okay. I want you to work with me because you want to work with me, and because you think I'm gonna do a good job and go to bat for you and try to find you the house of your dreams.
And that's hard, because you can only do so much to convince people like you know what you're doing and you're the woman for the job. And if they can't see that, then it starts to become more of a battle, and it's like you're wasting your time, and not wasting your time, but you can't force somebody to see the value you're bringing to them. And there has been a couple clients I've had to actually fire and just be like, this is not a working. You guys aren't showing up to showings together. You're not getting the lender what he needs to move forward. Like just, you know, your head on a brick wall all the time. And it's just like when you have multiple clients you're juggling, you can't
babysit. If they gotta want it
all day. I try
they gotta want it more than you do, right?
I used to work with kids, but
like you gotta want it. You gotta I'll do because it's all follow up. There's a lot of follow up involved.
All follow up.
Insurance and photography, because people I don't know, for real estate, for photography, people will just send you a straight email and be like, what are your prices? I'm like, when are you getting married? Where are you getting married?
Yeah.
Who are you? Do I like you?
Yeah. How much do you cost?
I definitely
I have to say there is a parallel, because I worked with brides in LA. I did event management and coordination for weddings, and you're shooting their biggest day of their life, really.
Yeah.
So that, I think we both have high pressure jobs, and people these clients demand so much of you when you're like entrusted with their wedding day, their house, you know, protecting their valuables and their family.
Dude, it's stressful.
Yeah.
Don't miss the kiss.
Do you see my grays? Do you see my grays?
Like mine are in here covered in dry shampoo.
Oh my gosh.
I
just dyed this
shampoo.
I just dyed this like a month ago. Damn it.
Yeah.
No, but that's the high risk, high reward part of running your own business, and your clients are your lifeline, really. So you do want to be.
So right now, what are your like maybe one or top two? Like how do you get your new leads and your new clients? Like, are they all word of mouth at this point, or are you still a lot of like grassroots type?
Yeah, so a lot of them. So my biggest source of meeting people is open houses. So I've met most of my clients last year were at open houses. I'm not really buying leads anymore. I'm more working the leads I've already had and like CPRing them, because a lot of people, when you meet them, they're not ready. The whole real estate process can be a month to like a year down the road. And you have to keep following up with these people. So I'm kind of in the process of doing that. A lot of my sphere, which are your friends, your family, your people have used me. So thank you guys. I really appreciate you trusting in me. Because sometimes it can be hard to separate the friendship and the professionalness and letting somebody that close into something, right? So you want to make sure you can trust them, and that's why
people get kind of weird, like over their finances or over their personal life. Like they put such a shield. It took me a couple years to stop taking things personally when my friends wouldn't hire me, and at first I used to think like it's my style. They don't like my work, or it's the price, I'm too expensive. And it's like, you know what? Maybe they just don't want to mix. Some people don't want to mix their friendships and their business. And
and I get that. I get that too. The people that didn't though. But so friends and family, open houses, and actually just the internet. I'm on Zillow, I'm on Yelp. I've had a lot of people finding me that way lately. And it's kind of exciting to be sought out. And we talked about how competitive it is, because you throw a rock out the window and there's 10 agents you're going to hit. So
I feel like the competitive self-employed is like, it's like online dating, right? Because you are literally trying to find people that you work well with, that you guys get along, that you guys fall in love, that you guys get a house together.
You're taking the words out of my mouth, because every weekend I tell Mark, I'm like, I'm about to go on some first dates.
Yep, that's what it honestly. On the basic level of business owning, entrepreneurship, it's like you are pursuing them as much as they are pursuing you, because if they want to work, it's a mutual relationship type thing.
I'm gonna find you.
So do you have a lot of referral partners that are outside of like other, so do you have like people who maybe are in like the credit repair business because they're working to get their people's credit back so they can buy a house, or what are your other like?
Totally. As a realtor, I think of myself more so a lot of the time as a concierge. I'm the person that's going to introduce you to the house, but on top of getting the house, you need a lender to get a loan most of the time. You need insurance to protect your home. They're going to require that. You need a home inspection, a pest inspection, a roof inspection, So yes, I do have a group of, I call them like a panel of lenders that send me referrals. I just met with a friend from high school last week who is now a financial planner. And I think that's a big, big piece, because a lot of my clients are first-time home buyers, and they're like, I want to buy a house, but I don't even know where to start. And my credit is here and I only have this much saved. So that's the other thing. One of my questions I got was, where do I start if I want to buy a house?
Yeah.
And I would say, sit down with the financial planner, sit down with a lender, right? And I have those contacts, and this is my team, right? I tell my clients, your lender is my partner in getting you into a house. So when you're out there scoping all these lenders and scoping all these realtors, make sure you get the vibe from them. They can follow through, because it's a 30-day process, but it's an intense 30-day process for the most part. So
yeah, I know when I have my lenders that send me a request and they're like, dude, we need this quote like yesterday. We need to present this quote for the offer like as
all the
soon as
time,
possible.
right? I need it
and it's like,
am I getting this in an hour? The offers are due in 20 minutes.
I know.
Time crunch.
Hurry up.
Yeah. So getting people that can work like that and are on it and answer your calls, answer your clients' questions, because there's nothing worse than sending a client to one of your referral partners and they're like, she or he didn't explain anything to me, like they're all over the place. I'm a bit OCD, so I pride myself on being detail oriented and just like, it's all about the little details. And if I don't see that in my partner, it's going to reflect on me and my business.
And for me, so like whether photography or on my insurance side, I try to do like a share screen with somebody, even if we're going to do like a quote or something, just so that a lot of people nowadays are very visual. So I'll do like a join me meeting or one of those type Google Hangout, share my screen so that they can see. And then I can explain like, okay, here's your coverage A. This is your cost to rebuild the house. If, this next fire that comes through takes it out, we got to remove the debris. We got to rebuild from the ground up. Like, what it costs, and they can see, and then they can choose like, okay, well, here's your price if you change deductibles, and here's how it works. So I feel it's a little bit better than here's your quote in an email for you to scan over that you have no idea what you're looking at. You're not an insurance professional, or this is your first time and hopefully only time getting married, and you're price shopping, photographer, whatever it is, like it's all the same, it's the same process. It's just different careers, honestly. What else was I gonna ask you?
And I think that's huge, like breaking down, because you're right, people are visual, they need to see the numbers, and I love people, especially my lenders that do that, so they understand what they're getting into and how much their mortgage is going to be. Sometimes they just sign things and they need to be explained.
Especially especially in the Bay Area. Like I get these houses that I'm like, these are $1.6 million houses for 1,300 square feet that these people are buying. Or $800,000 for a 600 square foot condo. You're just like,
that's why you need to come shop in Vallejo. You can still get a house for $300,000.
Yeah, we got to make sure to tag your page later so you can show whatever you have. So one of the questions that we got was, what is the most rewarding part of your job? So how does that work out?
Well, tying the two things I love together, what do you need in life? Water, food, and shelter. So I think being able to provide food and shelter for people is rewarding to me, because I know this is like your basic necessities. When I was recalibrating my life, and I've done so many things in 33 years professionally, I was like, I need to do something that makes a difference and is important to people, gives me freedom, like to make my own schedule and do how I work best, make good money and help people. And I feel like real estate checks all those boxes. I get bored really easily, so having to start over, it's hard, but then it's like, okay, here's a whole new family to help. And I think that's rewarding to me. There's not like the monotony of the 9 to 5, which I tried for, 10, 15 years, and I just couldn't do it anymore.
It's hard.
And so there is aspects of that. I'm still sitting at my desk and have to do emails all day and calls.
But it's different. It's different. Like, they have that meme or whatever that's like, you're either going to spend your time building up or chasing your own dreams, or you're going to help somebody chase theirs or build theirs.
You'll work 8 hours for somebody else. Yeah, you'll work 8 hours for somebody else, but I'll work 16 hours for myself. Easily.
Yeah, easily. If not more, and at all hours of the night. And then it's not as taxing on the body and the mind as it is when you're forcing yourself to do something for somebody else's business when they hold this over your head of like what the requirements are. You know, your clients are your bosses in this situation. And so it's a different level of like pride and experience. And
you're right. It's like it's still stressful, but it's like a different level of stress. It's like,
well, when is it not stressful?
Yeah, and it's like, if it's not stressful, then I don't know. Tell us your secret.
Yeah.
But,
if you
so I would say that,
and never stressed, tell us how you do it, please.
Tell me your secret. But yeah, that's the most rewarding part of the job, is helping families, getting to work with people I love. I've met so many awesome people in the last 2 years. Got some exciting things in the works in the next couple weeks coming out to do with that. I won't say too much yet. But yeah, the freedom, helping families, and making good money. I never thought I could do that in my life. And
what was your first year like financially? Like just if you want to just do a range, that's fine too. Just, you know, like I think people who
that's
might be curious, because honestly, people don't talk about how much they make. Like it's so taboo, but except unless you're in sales, then I feel like when we're in sales, we're just like, well, how much did you make on this? Then it's like, I don't know.
Because you're so driven by numbers. Like in a sales job, and especially in real estate, I think Remax doesn't take people that close less than 17 deals a year or something like that. So without getting into numbers exactly, you know, I've sold about a house a month since I started, which the average in California, I don't know the whole average, I won't say it, but it's like 2 to 3 nationwide a year. And that averages $5,000 to $7,000 a year, guys. Like, who can survive off $5,000 to $7,000 a year? I can't.
That's why a lot of people would like get licensed on the side to kind of buy and sell their own family stuff, right?
Exactly.
That's what I
things like that. People that aren't full time, things that account for that. So, you know, I've been on track so far to sell about 12 to 14 houses a year.
Awesome.
And you're right, money. It's hard for me to talk about money because I don't want to brag, because that's something that I want to be a boss babe, and I want to make 6 figures like it's nothing, and I'm right on my way. I'll tell you that much.
Awesome.
That is, I do.
I mean, honestly, I think people need to hear like both sides of it. Like, this shit is hard. It is so fucking hard. Excuse my language, but you know, it's my own page, because if I want to. But
you can say whatever you want, girl.
But it's rewarding because you're doing what you want to do. You're helping who you want to help. You're working with who you want to work with. You're not stuck taking orders. Like, and then you're in control. Whether you fail or succeed, like you're the one that's responsible for that.
100%. And I'll say this, it's August 1st, right? So 3 years ago, this month, I quit my corporate job. I didn't have a steady paycheck for 3 years now. August is also my 1 year since I left my team. So I've been in real estate now 1 year full-time on my own. And just to say that I can pay my rent, pay my bills, and still have some left aside, like that feels so empowering to me, because I'm doing it on my own terms. Like you said, I'm not counting on anybody else. My husband, so he works too. I am counting on you, Mark. And he's also, but I'll be real, he's also an independent contractor. He runs his own business. So both of us are kind of like, how much are you bringing in this week? When is this house closing? Like, we need this to be paid. So there is a stressfulness that we're still putting our systems in place as people that have barely run their business for 2 years. And you have to pay for everything on your own. People are like, oh, you make $10,000 on a house? That's awesome.
You're like, half of it's gone in taxes.
So I save 30 to 40% of every check for taxes. I'm really good about that, because I'm not going to owe Uncle Sam thousands of dollars.
And so do you use an app like Capital or something like that to like divvy up when you get paid, or do you have just separate accounts? Or
we both have our own business accounts, and then we have our joint account, which I think is huge if you run your own business. Separate it from the get-go. I didn't do that right in the beginning, and that's one thing I kind of like learned to correct right away. Separate your business expenses, because when you do your taxes, they're going to want to know how much did you make, how much did you spend?
Man, my account.
We got to
Dude,
buy.
my account's like gonna kick my ask sometimes. I'm just like, sorry, I didn't.
Yeah. So I suggest this book to my clients all the time. You need a budget. How do I not do it backwards?
Oh, I don't think we have a choice. Okay. You need a budget
so
by who?
You need a budget. This is a really good book. I've been suggesting it to my clients because I feel you're right. Money is a very volatile thing, and we both deal with it every day. And if you don't have a plan and you don't know what you want your money to do for you, whether it's real estate, whether it's investing, whether it's going on vacation, whatever you want, you need to plan it. And that's the one thing I've stressed to so many millennial clients that are coming to me. And because I am pretty young, like a lot of people in my office are a lot older than me. Yeah. And so coaching the millennials, not just on buying a house, but like being smart about your money and planning your money.
How to spend their money
and how you spend your money. And really, you spent $1,200 on Uber last month? No. Like, well, maybe.
Lord.
You know, that's one of my clients. So I'm like, that could be half your mortgage payment, dude. Like,
you're like, you could buy a car.
Totally.
I mean, totally. That's like my truck payment.
Yeah. So budget, and that goes for me as a business owner and my income going like, ooh, where are we coming in this month?
Do you have a lot of expenses as a realtor? Is it mostly like entertaining type stuff, or do you have a lot of other?
Yeah. So let's just say like I helped a client over 6 months try to find a house, which is gas, which is time, which is, you know, printing materials. And we have to have subscriptions to the MLS, to the E-Key that opens all the houses. All that stuff costs money. And I'm never guaranteed that we're going to find them a house, that we're going to close on a house, because sometimes things happen or they
like dating.
Yeah. And so think about that. Think about that 6 months worth of resources I spent on these clients, and maybe I'm not going to get it back because they're not ready for now 2 more years or another 6 months. So there is a lot of expenses that sometimes you just got to eat, and you have to pay for, I have to pay for my lawyer. I have to pay for my insurance. I have to pay for all my everything's on me to pay for it. So when people are just like, wow, you're making all this money,
you're like, oh, I got to pay a lot too.
Yeah, I got to pay a lot too. But
same for us.
It feels really, really good.
Even as an insurance agent and photographer, you got to have your commercial insurance. We have to have our E&O insurance in case we get sued and all that stuff.
Yeah. Not to mention the cut remax takes, right? Because I have to pay under a brokerage.
Yeah.
So
there's
all those things to factor. And there's this funny meme, because I know you like memes too, about.
I love memes. Anybody can send me a good one if you
have. There's the Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street, right? And he's standing there with his arms out, and he's like, I'm only a realtor, but I give $10,000 worth of psychological advice. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, sometimes I feel like I'm a therapist.
Oh my God, yes.
You get really involved in people's lives.
You are in the mix, like, and it's like 9 times out of 10, you're just like thrown into their personal life because they adopted you into their family. And so you're learning all the juice, you're learning all, like, you know, the dynamics, and, you know, I get it.
Yeah. Yep. I had a couple couples last year want to break up in the middle of buying a house.
Oh God.
Yeah, I have stories. I mean, of course I protect my clients' privacy, but
right.
Stuff hits the fan, and you got to be there to catch the pieces half the time and be like, it's okay, guys, this is normal. It's a stressful situation. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is normal what you're feeling. Mm-hmm. That's just breathe. And that's where my meditation background, like, that's one of the things that keeps me sane.
Yeah, I started meditating in the last like year and a half-ish. And it has brought me from down here up to like just feeling like a normal human being again. Because you don't realize how deep and dark in that, like, well, I was postpartum and then plus business owning. So that was like a nasty combination right there. But meditation, huge. And then it helps give you like this divine guidance that it's just like, you know, sometimes when you're taking a shower and you're just zone out, and then all of a sudden all the answers come to you. Like,
the
that's
shower
what meditation
is the place,
is for me.
Right?
Yeah, I'm like washing all the negativity down the drain.
Yep. Water's huge. Water's huge to
Love
reset. What else? Just You're right. I mean, I have anxiety, like huge, big time. And when you have clients that are depending on you for everything, if you don't have an outlet to manage that anxiety, you're not going to be able to just to stay even keel and accept them with what they need and show up wholly without bringing your own stuff into it, which just makes it worse.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because you can't bring in your own filters and your own judgments, because you got to, on one hand, it's like, you have to get your hand out of other people's wallets and stop assuming what other people can and can't afford.
Yep.
Because people, like, it's all about priorities, and you can have someone that makes $500,000 a year, but if they don't prioritize and see the value in something, they're not going to spend their money on it.
Yep.
So, yeah. Let's see. Anything else?
I can't believe we're at 10:40 already. We've been just chatting.
I know. Okay, so we're going to flip to the B side. The B side, we're going to talk about your plant-based, your passion for cooking and plant-based lifestyle. So are you completely vegan?
No.
Okay. But you just enjoy, like...
I just enjoy, so bottom line, I don't like touching meat. I don't like bones. I'm half Filipino. I don't know how that happened. But I think from a young age... Yeah, from a young age, I was just like, can you take it off the bone and then give it to me? Or like, while
your Lola's like,
yeah, seriously. And then my mom got really into meditation when I was like in high school, and she eventually became a vegetarian primarily. And so I kind of saw that, and she cooked that way at home. And so we'd still eat seafood now and then, but then I would just kind of mimic the vegetarianness. And I was a vegetarian for many years in college. And then, you know, meat just sneaks back in there and it's good, you know, bacon. So I did make a video, like you said, on my Instagram. If you guys want to check that out, I did an intro to why I love cooking. And it's, you know, basically just because it's a creative outlet for me. And
therapeutic. As long as everybody stays the hell out the kitchen, it's therapeutic.
Yeah, it's therapeutic. It also, so why vegan? Because it challenges me to eat healthier stuff instead of like always taking takeout or, you know, I do love the bad sugars. I'm taking a vegan course right now for dessert. So I'm trying to figure out how to make my sweet tooth healthier. Right.
Yeah.
So that's after taking the 6-month course and like realizing, okay, I don't really want to work in a kitchen. I don't see myself as being a cook. I see myself as more being like a recipe developer or just having some fun. And that's one of the things I think real estate has afforded me, is now to make my own schedule and to have more time for my like mysterious passions. And one of them is cooking. I am really involved in our community. Vallejo Benicia is trying to open a food co-op. So I've been involved for maybe almost 2 years at this point in trying to get that opened. So they kind of go together, like providing healthy food for the community, learning how to cook healthy for myself, and then maybe someday, I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm always got like that side hustle in the back of my mind, like how can I monetize
and I think nowadays too, you kind of have to have more than one thing going on. Like you have to have multiple skills, because like you know, you gotta multifaceted. That's definitely so. The co-op. Back to the co-op real quick. So we lived in Vallejo. We lived in Benicia. I love the community that they have built up there. So is it a physical location? Is everyone like farm to table type, like everyone's growing something, or is everybody like growing at home and then bringing it, or how's that work?
So this in itself, I've worked for a lot of small startup businesses, and that's kind of what this feels like. We want to open a grassroots grocery store because as being in Vallejo, we have no Trader Joe's, we have no Whole Foods, we have very limited access to healthy organic food, natural foods. We don't have it.
Like, I think we would do Rayleigh's all the time in Benicia, or like maybe Sprouts in Pinole, or whatever that one place is in Pinole.
I go to Berkeley all the time. That's where I meditate. And on my way home on Sundays, I'll stop at Trader Joe's to get what I need, or I'll go to the co-op in Berkeley and then Napa. So like Benicia, Vallejo, we're in this like little peninsula, not an island, whatever. We're separate bridges on both sides. Yeah. And so there's this group of people that are really passionate about bringing healthy food to the community. Like we'll be the first food co-op in Solano County. And a food co-op, just in case nobody knows what that is, it's basically a grocery store owned by the people, owned by the communities. What does that mean? The jobs stay here, the money stays here, and we have access to healthy foods. Vallejo was considered a food desert, which means that there's no healthy alternatives
Yeah, and then
Within,
the one place that we did, oh, because when I lived in Mare Island, we would shop at the Sonoma. There was like a Safeway over in Sonoma that had
Mhm.
like okay-ish produce, and it's just like,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
wonder why nobody's eating healthy over here. Everyone's just like, the processed food section was way bigger than the produce,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
healthy.
And so that's kind of my secret passion, is like having food available for people, because I love eating. The best people love to eat. And it's not fair that we don't have, as a community, somewhere that help us thrive, to feed our bodies and fuel ourselves. So cooking and the co-op kind of go together. They're the thing I'm doing to figure out, something besides real estate, because real estate can consume my whole life, and it really does.
Yeah.
And I love it, so I let it, but
Yeah.
I'm also making room for the other things that are about the community, that are about passion.
Absolutely.
And I never was okay with that. Like, I thought I had to do real estate and nothing else. I had to do food and nothing else. I couldn't
Hey, and we're
mix the two.
Filipinos, so we're supposed to be doing nursing right now.
Yeah, so it's like I never was okay with, like, I just have to be one thing and that's it. And I always tore me up inside because I can never do one thing.
Yeah.
And I found this lady's blog called Putty Like, and it's about multi-potentialites, which is the multifaceted people that just, they need different things in their life to feel complete. And I feel like
well-rounded. Like, you can't just
yeah. And so I read that and I was like, oh, I'm okay.
What was the name of that? Putty what?
Putty Like.
Oh, like putty
like silly putty.
Okay.
Under my blue Band-Aid. Silly putty, and it's her term she's coining is multi-potentialite, which is just multifaceted,
Okay.
Multi-passionate. And I feel like if I did get to do that, which I don't really think I did at my corporate job,
Yeah.
it makes me a little bit more unhappy and I'm more empty.
Because when I feel like, and I know you got to get going pretty soon here, but I do feel like when you are in the corporate gig, or you're doing something that you're not happy with, the more unhappy you are with your life, then the more negative outlook you have on everything else, then the more negative shit you're going to attract, the more negative people you're going to attract, because all you're doing is complaining. And so you're going to connect with other people who are willing to listen to all that, instead of people who are, when you're stepping out of your comfort zone to start this project, to start this passion project, to find other people that have that similar, like that energy and that vibe, that everybody's like, all right, let's do this. Let's, we're all in it together. We're all, and then things get better. And then you find yourself happier, and then you find yourself stronger, and then you're like, God, like, I don't even like this job.
Yeah, what else can I do?
Yeah. And then that's the empowerment where you're like, all right, now what else am I capable of? So,
yeah.
And
I've always admired that about you. I know you're a mom and you're a photographer and you're doing insurance. And when there's other real women out there, which I love that you're doing this, because I remember 3 years ago when you were trying to do this, was it Periscope?
Periscope.
Okay,
and they had Lab. Yeah, and they don't even have that anymore. Well, I don't know if they have Periscope, but I know that they don't have Lab anymore. And so I lost my videos where I like interviewed freaking like so stupid.
But I'm glad
I don't know.
It's helpful to see other women doing it. I love the woman power and the boss lady, and that drives me all the time, because I'm like, I want to do that, and I want to show other women and well-behaved men that you can do whatever you want. You really can. It's not easy, and it's going to be a struggle on one foot in front of the other at first. And even when you're doing it, sometimes it's like, oh, what am I doing now? But
yeah, it's very easy. You're like, I could just turn around and walk and go back to where it's comfortable. I definitely feel like we are not, and I read a book, and I'll have to look on my Audible and see what it was, but it was like talking about how we're no longer in the Industrial Revolution. We are no longer raising up worker bee type people.
Yep.
We are in the entrepreneur revolution. People are realizing you don't have to go and find a job. You don't have to go to college. You don't have to find a job and stay there for the next 40 years until you die. I mean, if you want to do that, do that. If that's what your calling is, if that's what your passion is, do that. But some of us are not built that way. Some of us are like,
get me out of here.
Yeah.
So, and it's hard. And if I can support you, I'm sure if you could support people to make that move or to put the plans in place, I think that was I had a coach when I was first starting and a mentor, and they helped me get clear on like, they weren't telling me what to do, but they're helping me get clear on what I wanted to do and figure it out. And that to me is priceless. And another question somebody asked me is like, how do I stay motivated to hustle all the time? Because I love what I do.
Yeah.
And that's different from like, I like what I do and I have great coworkers and yada, yada. And again, I'm not downplaying that because that's having a steady paycheck. I do miss it.
Yeah.
I'm not downplaying that. Yeah. But when you were forced to hustle and if I don't sell a house, I don't eat. If my husband doesn't, you know, repair something or remodel something, it's hard not to hustle because we're, again, going back to we're all on ourselves. I'm trying to babble now. You're getting into an hour, but if you're going to hustle for something, hustle for yourself, hustle for something you love, right?
Yeah.
I think my low battery mode just popped up. Sorry.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Well, is there anything else that you wanted to throw in there about somebody who might be considering going into real estate? Or
I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, swipe it. Swipe it.
Swipe up?
Yeah.
Down. Oh, now I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, it's some glitch. I learned about it yesterday.
Okay, I'm like, my low battery came on and then there's no volume.
Yeah, all good. So what I was just saying though,
I was in. Okay.
I know now the calls are starting to come in. Where did I go? All right. Well, I don't know if I'm going to come back up on the video here.
Can you hear me? I don't know if I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you can see me, but
I can.
I forgot to put the do not disturb on my phone, so it started ringing.
Oh.
All right. Well, I don't know why my video isn't working, but I know you got to duck out. Thank you so much, Maxine. I really, really, really appreciate you.
Thank you, Meo.
Thank you again. It's so nice getting to know you over the last few years.
You
so
too.
Go ahead and mention what your pages are, what your usernames are.
My realtor page is maxine.realtor on Instagram. That's where you can follow all real estate happenings. And then maxqueen15 is where I post my personal life, my cooking stuff, co-op stuff, things like that. So feel free to follow me there on Facebook and reach out if I can help you with any of the things we talked about today, not just buying a house. So Perfect. Thanks so much, Meo.
Thank you